Hey, what's up? Mornings with Harley on Rocket 100.5 here with Rachel Bolan from Skid Row, but also solo album. That's so awesome. So it's titled Bolan, Gargoyle of the Garden State, which I love the title, by the way.
Thank you.
That's awesome. For those people, because most of my listeners live in Florida, the Garden State is New Jersey.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. So kind of tell me more about the process of making a solo album.
Well, Skid Row had the time, and it was always kind of an idea that was floating around in the back of my brain, I guess. And Nick, my friend and producer, we were playing each other music, and I said to him, "Hey, I have a couple songs that I wrote like years ago that I recorded. What do you think of them?" And he's like, "Wow, these are really cool, man. Let's do a solo record."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "You'll produce my solo record?" He said yes, and I said, let me talk to my manager and see what the label thinks of all this. And they were into the idea, thankfully, and everything just started to snowball really quickly. And I kept writing more songs and replacing some songs we weren't too sure about with songs that we were more sure about. And that started about a year and a half ago. That from that conversation, that was the catalyst for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Now the album just came out on the 12th, and that went by really quickly.
Really. That's awesome. I know it's been out for a whole week already. I can hardly believe it. How well has it been received with the fans?
I haven't seen one or two negative to hundreds and hundreds of positive. I don't read too much, but my friends and my wife read them all and keep me updated on it. And it's been getting great reviews, and the listeners seem to really like it. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Yeah, because I remember, gosh, what was it, about a month ago, where you dropped the first 3 singles, which at the point in time, Anything But You was my favorite. But
nice.
You have all these collaborations, including the one and only Corey Taylor. So Big Stick is now my favorite one.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
No, it's really cool to see so many collabs and, so many artists who, you've probably worked with over the years on your solo album.
Yeah. Everyone that was involved, from, Nick producing the record to my friends that sang backup and harmonies and players and other singers, all my friends, I had this opportunity for this monumental moment to put out a solo record, my very first in a pretty long career, and I just thought to myself, how do I make this better? Let me call my friends. Let me get my friends involved and make it even cooler. And it did. It really did. And it proved so awesome. What I already knew, that I have awesome friends.
Oh, definitely. And, they're really coming through for you. And it's funny because, I know there are a few people, maybe who are, just coming into getting to know Skid Row, or, maybe didn't know that, for years you've actually sang Psychotherapy loads of times. So it's really cool for them to be able to, hear your vocal talent.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I have put out records where I was the singer before. I had a band, Prunella Scales, and then I had another band when I lived in Atlanta called the Quasimotors, and I would sing and play. But this is the first solo project, and I keep calling it a project. Actually, it's not a project because I want to keep doing this, and. Yeah, it's just really fun. People heard before we did Psychotherapy and covered that, I used to sing Blitzkrieg Bop live.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and so it's just really cool just to really put effort into that. And we were having a lot of fun in the studio. It was just Nick and I most of the time.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. I made rookie mistakes as a singer. One day I had a great day singing, so I went out and celebrated a little too much. The next day, it's like your throat is shot. I could kind of feel it,
Whoopsies.
So I call some singer friends of mine. I go, so how am I supposed to take care of this shit? Yeah. They're like, no alcohol. I'm like, ooh.
Right. So let me ask you this. Do you have a personal favorite song off the album?
It's funny you said anything but you, because if I had to pick one, it would be that song. And I
Oh,
think
cool.
for a few reasons, I had I came up with that riff, that opening riff. I was given this little practice amp, and I had never tried it out, and it's been sitting on a shelf in my studio. I was like, well, what does this thing sound like? And I plugged it in, and I just started playing that riff, and it sounds really lo-fi. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, wow, that has a cool vibe to it. It sounds like really DIY punk type stuff, like Black
Oh, yeah.
Flag, type stuff. And I recorded the riff, and it just sat there. And then it was about 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave for Nashville to start recording. And Nick is like, I think you need a couple more songs. He goes, I've been listening to everything we have, and I think you need a couple more songs. I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I just went through my phone, and I heard that riff. I was like, man, I love this riff. So finished the song. I started recording. I'm sitting in my studio now. I started recording, and then I finished it up the next day. And it was just one of those magical moments where the lyrics came really quickly, the arrangement came really quickly, and any songwriter just cherishes those moments where it just happens really fast and spontaneous. So other than the energy in the song and the lyrics itself, the memory of writing that song, it makes it my favorite song on the record.
Oh, that's so cool. And I mean, it's pretty definitely obvious. You can tell a lot of your influences are punk related. Do you have any bands that you would cite as influences?
Oh yeah, I mean, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts weren't sure right now. I mean, Iggy Pop and Ramones and Clash and Sex Pistols,
Yeah.
Boys, Dead Kennedys. I was a punk rock kid.
Awesome.
I was late to the game with heavy metal, which I love, but I was always punk rock.
That's awesome. So actually, since you bring up lyrics, me being a lyric girl, that is like the first thing that I always love hearing in any like subject matter on this album specifically. Did you write from personal experience or?
Yeah, personal experience, and then some stuff I just kind of concocted, but other stuff like that I wasn't directly involved in were people that I knew, because I it's gonna sound weird and all, but I really feed off of people's energy, and when someone has good energy, or if they're going through a hard time or something,
Oh yeah.
I can't help but just absorb some of that. So
Dude, me too. Me too.
So that's the standpoints I write from. Like there's been times with Skid Row where I could hear a conversation in the line in the supermarket, and my brain gets going, and I get home and I start putting pen to paper.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So I guess the real question now is, what else can we expect from Bolan? Maybe some shows?
I'm hoping, yeah. Rob Hammersmith is on board, which is cool. He played the whole record. I spoke to a couple guys that I would really like to tour that are in other bands. So I'm kind of working around, and they're not in the same band. So I'm working on other schedules and just trying to figure it out. And I got the plan, and then a backup plan, and then a backup to the backup, and a backup to the backup to the plan. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get it all together, and eventually, yeah, I would love to do shows and play this out, and that's the main objective right now.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Make sure you come down to Florida. So, okay. Now, I know you've probably been getting asked this a lot, but I know a lot of the Rocket 100.5 listeners are very eager to know, do you have an update on the search for the next singer of Skid Row?
I do. The way we've been doing it through the campaign we have going with Sweetwater Music, we've gone through, now it's up to about 400 different submissions. And that's just from that campaign through videos and stuff like that, not counting all the outside referrals that we got. And what we've been doing is going through them and picking about 4 people, sometimes it was 5, but about 4 people that really piqued our interest, getting them to New Jersey, getting in a room with them over the course of a weekend, like a long weekend, and bringing them in and see how they do in a live situation. And then we just tell them this is a really long process. It's going to be a while before you hear from us, good or bad, you know. And that's the point we're at again. We've done that like 3 times so far. That's the point we're at again, where we're bringing a few people into Jersey, and you know, we're gonna see what happens. But there's a few people that really piqued our interest. So we're gonna do that as soon as Scotty gets back from Japan.
Oh wow.
he's
That's
over. He's over
exciting, though.
visiting family. So
Yeah.
there
Oh,
for-
that's super exciting. So how has that been partnering with Sweetwater?
It's great. I mean, I've personally been dealing with Sweetwater for, I don't know, 30 years, I guess, at least. You know, when I lived in Atlanta and then Nashville, and I've gone through about 3 reps because they moved on to other places. But Sweetwater is such a great company, and just so cool to work with side by side like this. And I don't know if you've ever been to the compound out in Fort Wayne.
I have not, but I see like a bunch of my friends' bands always make the stop every tour they're on. I'm like, I can't wait till my band can go up there. Like, seriously, it looks awesome.
Impressive. It's like just the foot pedal section is probably as big as my house.
Oh my gosh.
I'm exaggerating, but it's huge, like aisles and aisles and aisles of foot pedals, and then just the different rooms they have, and they have studios there. And it's great. It's really a great place to be.
So that's like any musician's like dream stop, huh?
Yeah, you leave your wallet in the car, or just at home. You leave it at home because you're like, I'm gonna buy everything.
I'm horrible with that too. You know, shopping, not aside from being a girl, but you know. So something I thought was actually super cool with you guys partnering with Sweetwater for the Next Chapter search was that it lists your gear on there, exactly what you use on stage. Now, you know, I am a singer by trade, but as an aspiring bass player myself, I thought that was really cool to kind of see what you use and what kind of makes this setup work for you.
It's simple. I like things that aren't complicated. I went down the whole pedal board road and had cool stuff on there, and stuff would just break, and I stomped too hard on it and the button would get smashed down. So I'm like, you know what? You know the pedal I'm going to use? A tuner. I used to use distortion for fun, but I love GK amps. The GK heads. I think they're fantastic, and I've been a GK endorser since 1989, maybe even 88. So, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And now I used to use SVTs, and then when I lived in Atlanta, I got there was an Orange amp distributor down there, the warehouse. So I went to visit. At the time, my rep was Alex. He moved on from Orange, but he turned me on to the smaller 410 cabins instead of the gigantic 810 cabins, and I really like the punch to it. So that's what I use on stage. I use a 410 on one side and a 410 on the other, whether it's behind a scrim or out in the open. That's what I use because it just gives me that sound that I like. I like it. The sound that I strive for is, you know, when I could dig in, it kind of has a growl to it. But then when we play stuff like 18 in Life and the later stuff, it leans back and I get the clarity that I need, but still get the warmth as well. And that whole combo, my Spectre, my GK, and those Orange cabinets are just, that's the ticket for me.
That is awesome. And so I'm just curious, like I use a Jackson. What made you choose Spectre?
They were out of New Jersey. They were out of the Kramer factory at the time, and they had reached out to me when we first got signed. And you know, Richie Sambora was at Kramer, so he said, "There's this new band coming up, Skid Row. You guys should talk to them." And they did. And they were, you know, it was Jersey based. It was in Neptune, New Jersey, and I went down and played one. And I was like, I love this bass. And, I'm not the biggest guy. So having that bass that it just fit my body type and it just played perfectly. And the warehouse, the bass was the Road Dogs. I spilled water in it by accident. I've spilled beer in it by accident. And, new battery and you were ready to go, So
That's so
I
awesome.
just love the feel of them. And it's funny. There was one time we were gearing up. We were, this is back in the day, we were getting ready to go on tour. So we were rehearsing for about 2 weeks, but we shipped our main guitars out. So I shipped out all my Spectres, which are long scale.
Okay.
And I was in rehearsal, I was using my P basses, which are, the standard scale. And man, that messed me up when I put my Spectres back on, because I was like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong position. Where am I? And yeah, I'm like, okay, if we ever ship our gear out before us, I'm keeping one and just carrying it on the plane.
Oh, wow.
It messed me up, man.
Oops.
It took me half a show to be like, oh my God, where am I?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I think the thing that drew me to the Jackson was the neon green.
Love
But
it.
yeah, I got one of those. Yeah, it's so far, like, because I'm so busy, obviously, with radio. Like, I've learned a few covers here and there. I still really need to tackle some Skid Row, but I've learned, Limp Bizkit's song. Of course, Seven Nation Army was like the easiest thing.
Right on.
But no, like, you've always inspired me to play bass. So,
oh man, that's awesome.
thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, no, but like really looking forward to seeing, either one of your bands, like whether it's Bolan or Skid Row, back on the road very, very soon.
Me too. I haven't played in a while.
I know. Yeah, because I think the last time we actually talked over an interview was 2 years ago, and when I was in Reno.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Lizzie did the show.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Or I think she was about to do those 4 shows with you.
Yeah, it's funny because we were just texting yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Mhm.
I said, can you believe that it's been 2 years since the last show you did with us? And I see the little circles going for a while. She's like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, no. I said, you've been busy.
I know. Yeah, actually,
since then.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to hang with her a little bit last year at Welcome to Rockville. She is, oh my gosh, super, super awesome, awesome girl. I saw she did a little tribute to you guys the other night in Scotland.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard. She did.
Yeah, she did the acoustic cover of I Remember You.
That's
Beautiful.
great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's very early, but
I've been up for 5 hours already because of my cats.
Oh man, yeah, that is true. But thank you again. I really look forward to seeing you on the road and discussing more of your solo project and a lot of other things.
Yeah, awesome seeing you.